Hello, I'm Wayne Berry, and I'm going to be speaking in a moment to Louise Woodbury. And Louise is the co-author of a fascinating book called The Invisible Partnership. So, Louise, perhaps just tell us how that book came about and what our listeners can expect to get if they read that book.
Okay, thanks very much, Wayne. The Invisible Partnership is a book around how to work with your spouse without getting divorced. And this is a personal journey of my life partner and business partner, William Diora, so we're co-authors. And we've been together for 17 years in business and, 16 years of being married. And, we've been through the good, the bad and the ugly of what it is to be not only married, but fundamentally what it is to be together 24/7. And really grow, obviously as the business grows and you learn to be married. I mean, we had to learn a lot. So what we want to be able to do is share with life partners that are also in business is how they can do it and not get divorced.
Look, that's terrific. A lot of the people who are on my subscribers list, my Top Gun Tips email newsletter, are exactly that. Husband and wife teams, in some cases husband and wives and children involved in the business. And you're right, it is a challenge to not just work with them, but also to balance that with home time and who has what role. So I guess you drew from your own experience. And when did you release the book? Fairly recently, I think it was.
Yes, in the first week of September,
Okay.
the book is officially released, and we've been working with couples in business for certainly over the last 15 years, and I think we're ready, we're mature enough, we're brave enough now to tell our story, because obviously there with the GFC there are a lot of people who needed to confront some things in their relationship and ask why they were even together, let alone why they're running a business together. So we're brave enough now to step up and say, hey, we are example of obviously working through and navigating through what it's like to have two strong and powerful people work together. And, this is without compromise as well. So, that's the story.
Have you got any success stories, perhaps, that are in your book about couples that you've worked with without naming names that might be useful for our viewers to know about?
Certainly, we've included, several case studies, and it's a combination of obviously the male entrepreneur starting a business, the business expanding, and then how they bring the spouse in, the wife in, and in a lot of those cases, the wife just happens to arrive at the business is in chaos, it's growing so fast, and this was certainly our journey as well as to how I came to work with William. And it's not until one day you wake up and you go, how did I get here, and is this really what we want to be doing? So we've got case studies around that. We've also got a couple of case studies of the female entrepreneur where they really see the strengths that their husbands have and bring the business, the husband into the business. Now, what can sometimes happen, and we certainly speak about this in the Invisible Partnership, is the silverback male gorilla syndrome, which happens to be pretty much entrenched with the male species, and the queen bee, which is obviously the female part. Now, when a silverback male comes into the wife's business, there's a whole lot of personal challenges that will show up, and so we navigate through that as we've done with a couple of couples. To really help them to see that they can be powerful partners together. They can work with each other's strengths and fundamentally take the business to new heights. That left to their own devices and working with just a single entrepreneur, the results are at a great level. But this is about taking it to a phenomenal level.
Look, that's great. We've got about 1 minute now before we wrap up. How can people get a hold of your book?
So what we really encourage is go take the journey to your local Dymocks and Angus and Robertson. Obviously, it is online through our own website at invisiblepartnership.com. But really what we want to be able to do is go and help those franchise owners that are out there taking a risk, because
Excellent.
some of those Dymocks owners are husband and wife teams as well.
Of course. And look, we'll put on the screen here your website address, your telephone number. So if somebody wants to contact you direct to talk about what you can do for them and their business, they can. We've got about 20 seconds to wrap up here now. It's a real pleasure speaking with you, Louise. I've always admired what you and William do. You have great value, and many of our subscribers are in fact husband and wives teams, and they can benefit from this. So I'll say goodbye for now.
Thanks so much, Wayne, and let's kind of throw it out there and make a difference to the community of small business.